him anymore, but thanking him for bringing me through these circumstances and situations.
Right.
You know, and I find myself grateful, ladies, in a way that gratitude, gratitude.
Gratitude is a must. It's so interesting that you're speaking about gratitude at this time of year, because certainly there is a buzz in the air and persons are speaking about Thanksgiving. And of course, there's always so much to be thankful for, Mikey G. And even amidst all the things that may not be going right, there is something, there is something that we can be thankful for.
Thanking God for, you know, some people say, when everything is said and done, anyways, I'll do all the things not going right. God, I thank you for life. Standing by. Yeah, have you ever heard it? Have you ever heard it? When somebody would say, God, boy, everything just gone wrong, but God, anyhow, thank you for giving me life. Uh, when you hear this, when they go on and say life, you're like you get a life sentence. It's like you're sadder than everybody else, and this is what you feel. That's a conversation that the persons are having, and you say to yourself, "Oh my God," But what's a rich man? Here's a rich man
Yes.
who has everything, and he's about to die now, right? No, the poor man says, I didn't have all of that, but God, thank you for life. Here's a rich man. When he gets himself in a corner and somebody's now going to take his life from him, he says, take all the things that I have, the billions of dollars, just leave with me life. It's a very serious thing, I have watched persons do this nonsense so many times, we don't appreciate the gift of life that God gives us.
Yes.
And I would say to a Christian believer that if you go out and you thank God for life, you are struggling with your Christian walk very badly. And of course, go pray. Go pray about it, man. Go find yourself in the city. Go find an altar. I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, and and he says, there must be an altar set up for us to pray as Christians.
Yes.
You must have an altar that you go to, that you pray. And where's that altar that we have created? In fact, when we talk about the churches, we talk about churches that are built for the people, but not built for God. You understand? The church is built for the people who call themselves the church, but not for God. Because the altar where God's supposed to be, that place where God is supposed to be sacredly worshipped, is operated as if it's a thoroughfare for everybody to just run all over the place. You ever see ants running everywhere? Like when you have what you call, like, you put on candy on the counter and everything just running everywhere all over the place. Eh? That's how you see God's the churches are run, right? People just running everywhere. They rush them. Wherever it's holy is not holy, because it's not really God's place. God is not here, He's not really here, people, It's just a thing that we do. We set up a space that we as a people can come and just do our thing and just show everybody how good we can sing and how good we can preach, and we show everybody how good, but we forget that when we come into the temple of God, there should be a place called the altar where we bow down in contriteness before God, But we don't build a church. The houses of, so I say this, and I'm tired. I'm probably not tired. I'm never going to be tired of saying this. That when we go, we say we're going to build a church.
Yes.
And so people say, when we go to church, people say, them Christian there. When they curse Christian, people say, you see them Christian there, but now go to them church. And this is the way worldly use it. But Christians set themselves up for a fall every time. because we are selfish in what we do. We have
Yeah,
not allowed
that's an unfortunate situation, Mikey.
unfortunate situation, right?
Yeah.
We are selfish in the things that we do. And
Yes.
we didn't build the house up, we didn't build the church, the temple for God. We built it for ourselves. So we name it after ourselves, church. But if we had said, if we had ever made the mistake of saying this is God's temple,
Yes.
this is the temple of God,
Yes.
and we're going to God's temple, right?
Yes.
Build me a sanctuary, or call it the sanctuary, whatever, but it must be in relation to what God tells us to call it,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Build me a sanctuary that I may
Dwell
dwell
among.
amongst you. So if this is God's sanctuary, we have a sign in there, this is God's sanctuary, but we build a church,
Yeah.
and so that sanctuary, people would say, I am not coming to God's sanctuary, you wicked Christians. Do you hear the difference? Do you heard it?
You wicked Christians.
So you're not coming to the wicked church with the wicked Christians there that they build for themselves,
Yes.
or the hypocrite Christians. You're
Mm.
not coming to the true and living God's temple or sanctuary that has been built for Him, that you don't want to be in because you think that some person there is hypocritical. The narrative will change because it's not the people, the church people, church. It is God's place where you come to worship Him. So the altar will be set up in there for God's people to come. And I wanted to reiterate that concept, wanted to bring that thought in there, when we think about, how precious, how downtrodden we are.
Oh, precious is the flow. Yes.
Sing it, sister, sing it.
Today is 21st of November, Mikey G. I don't know. The time seems to be just rushing and waiting on no one. It's waiting on no one. I want to say good morning to those of our viewers on Facebook and those who are joining us on YouTube as well. I hope you're hearing me loud.
I would say that our radio audience are hearing it too loud. Well, loud enough. It's all right. So, yes.
You have to trim me.
No, just the audio.
All right. So, just advise you, today is celebrated as National Gingerbread Cookie Day, World Hello Day, World Television Day, Beaujolais Nouveau Day. And of course, let's go to something that we are unfamiliar. We are not so familiar with. We need to be learning something. Every time we come here on the breakfast hour, we have to be learning something as we get on close to the news time. Every third Thursday in November, people worldwide grab their wine glasses in anticipation. Why? Because it's Beaujolais Nouveau Day. This isn't just any wine day, it's a global party celebrating the first wine of the season from France's Beaujolais region. So it has something to do with wine. I had to learn something new. It's a French day. Today is also World Television Day. For those of us who grew up in the Western countries, the television is almost taken for granted. It has always been there in the corner of the front room, entertaining us with the bright colors and sounds, or satisfying our need to learn something new. The television, invented by an assortment of individuals in the late 19th and early 20th century, but often attributed to John Logie Beard, was has revolutionized the world. For the first time, moving images could be adequately projected from around the world into the homes of ordinary people, bringing a new level of access to information and entertainment previously only dreamed of. So I'm going to pause here to ask Mikey G, can you imagine a world without television?
Wow, world without television. Well, I remember when we didn't have television.
You do?
Yeah, when I as a household, we did not have television when at a certain time,
Yes.
and I remember not having television, and we depended, and what we did was we told a lot of stories.
Ah,
Yeah, we had lots of stories to tell, and so we grew up on stories of different kind of stories. The Anansi stories are the ones that we claim to be Anansi stories, but there were folk stories that were told of persons who were outsmarting others, scamming
yes,
kind of thing. People were
yes,
scammers, and
yes.
and how you should identify scammers, right? We stopped telling the stories, and now everybody can scam us. It was a thing, right? It was so easy for people to scam us these days. In fact, it is so dangerous that we step outside. But before television, we used to tell stories, lots of it. And I remember when we got television, it was an exciting time.
You remember when
And
TV used to sign off and sign on?
at 12 o'clock, midnight, it go ping. And then it would have played the national anthem. It plays the national anthem, and then you could see the various little signs go going across the screen, and
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it is impossible for me, ladies, to see a world without television now that I've been exposed to it. Now, can you imagine stepping one step further, a world without cell phones? That device that is surgically connected to you, and if you don't answer it, you have lost your relationship with just about everyone, including your job. And so it is a serious thing. We have found ourselves in some diabolical conditions and situations based on our progress in technological findings and life. It
Yeah.
becomes what it has become sometimes for us. Instead of becoming a blessing, it has become a curse.
Unfortunate. That's unfortunate, Mikey G. Unfortunate. When I
It's
think
just
about,
it's
yeah, we can't survive. We don't read a book. It's so difficult to read a book because there's so much things to competing for time. We have television
mm,
to watch, and I'm telling you. And there
it's
are
crazy.
some people there are some people who do not watch television.
No, there are lots of persons who do not watch television because
Yeah.
the concept of watching television is watching somebody who is being successful at what they do, and you spend the rest of and they did not watch TV as much as you do, and they are getting ahead up with their lives, and while you're watching them doing that, yours
Well,
are just wasting away watching them enjoying themselves. But then you can look at it from that perspective, or you can take
yes.
a look at it to say that I can enjoy a little bit of something, and if people enjoy different things, you
Yes.
know,
So
because here's somebody who claimed that he's a golfer.
enjoy golf.
He enjoys golf.
Yes.
Somebody enjoys dominoes. I could look at somebody playing golf and say, that's the stupidest thing I've seen for all my life. You know, I watch that game and I see people go
Well,
that little ball all the way and spending how much thousands of
because
dollars
it's not
trying
your
to worry
thing.
about.
It's not your thing, but it's somebody else's thing. But
You know,
it's news time. It's time for the news. And of course, our news is brought to us today by Asai Ultrasound Imaging. So we'll continue the conversation
when we come
after
back.
when we come back after the news. Yeah, I'm telling you the news. It's time for the news. But of course, let's hear.
And of course, a little bit of technical difficulty sometimes every now and then. It says that it is on us to know that if something can go wrong, then it can go. But
Of
then you know what?
course.
Wrong and wrong is not the wrong thing. It's just something that happens. It's okay. We figure it out every now and then. All right, time for the news.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center. When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Good morning. These are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio's Breakfast Hour. I'm Coralie Tarrant. Premier leads beneficial ownership talks in London. Premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly has taken the reins as the new Financial Services Minister, leading a delegation to the UK to discuss beneficial ownership registers amid mounting pressure from UK Parliament members. Speaking at the Joint Ministerial Council, she highlighted Cayman's adherence to global standards and its commitment to direct engagement with UK officials. The delegation also discussed irregular migration, post disaster funding, and student financing. The Premier concluded her day with a reception at Buckingham Palace hosted by King Charles III. Premier's minority government faces legislative challenge on December 9. Premier O'Connor Connolly's minority government will convene Parliament to address a packed agenda of 21 bills, including key financial services amendments. This follows a political shakeup after the resignation of four coalition members last month, citing conflicts and unprofessionalism. Observers are keen to see how the Premier navigates this new parliamentary dynamic. West Bay man fined for driving offences and dog neglect. West Bay resident Dory Martinez avoided a custodial sentence but was fined $1,225 for various offences,
All right,
including
sir.
driving without insurance and abandoning an animal. Magistrate Philip McFarlane warned Martinez, who is disqualified from driving for 2 years, to
Let's see.
prioritize his fines and
Coming
reflect
to
on
the
his
screen.
poor decision making.
Volume level coming to the screen when you speak.
Local
Just
author debuts book highlighting ADHD awareness.
turn up the mic low.
Caymanian senior behavior
Try
technician and
change the
former Miss Supernatural
mic
Cayman
turn
Islands,
and
Melissa
adjust.
Bridgemohan, has released her first book, Sean,
Right?
the Spirited Sloth. The story aims to build
All
empathy
right.
for children
We
with
might have to
ADHD.
lean out, turn you up,
Bridgemohan's
just
advocacy stems from her professional experience, and
on your
she
low.
hopes the book fosters inclusion and understanding. The launch event is set for November 30th at Camana Bay.
All right.
We go now to regional news. In Jamaica, plans finalized for Negril International Airport. The government of Jamaica has announced plans for a new international airport in Little London Negril, aiming to ease pressure on Sangster's International Airport. The project, led by the Airports Authority of Jamaica, is set to commence by March 2025, creating significant opportunities for local employment and development. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. Stay tuned for more updates throughout the day.
Of course, those are the news. Of course, thank you, Corley Karen, this morning for bringing such able news this morning. Flashpoint Radio. And of course, Flashpoint Media. Of course, if you're joining us on our YouTube channel and of course on our Facebook, we want to say to somebody this morning, we are here in this space. Of course, our radio on www.ky.
Yes, of course. We want to thank Corley Current for so ably delivering the news items this morning. And of course, so much happening all over the world, so much happening right here in Cayman. And of course, we have our finger on the pulse, checking it as it goes. And of course, we are still giving thanks that today is a Thursday. We're having a conversation prior to the news, and we said, what would the world be without our television? And then the news. Maybe we would have other methods of hearing what's happening in the world. Perhaps what we used to do. We used to look forward to reading the paper. We used the Gleaner. News wasn't easy. It wasn't instant. So if something happens today, perhaps too.
Wait, next week.
Yes, maybe next week you would have heard about it. But
I'm reading the news next week.
yes, yes, yes.
The Daily Gleaner would bring the news like the day after the printing it on the press, hot press, and they're trying to do it. But then if it's from one city to the next, then
Yes.
what you find is that on horsebacks, you would have to ride those things from one city to the next, and it takes a couple thousand miles to get across there. So maybe in a week, and then people sit down there and read what's going on in West Virginia,
Yes. Yes.
what's going on in Jamaica. Well, it didn't have a horse to ride from Jamaica to the US, but it would be a boat or something. So this is how it worked, and so you would have to find out what's going on in England if you're in Jamaica. If it's a colony and they're colonizing Jamaica, right? What would it be? You'd have to take a ship from England to Jamaica, and vice versa.
Yes.
So England would not know unless, because they didn't have any gramophones to dial up the Queen. Hey Queen, well, those are rebelling in Jamaica. They have machetes now in their hands. They're chopping at the white people. That's all I think. Because there are no, they figured it out. We don't want to be beaten and our wives taken for slave and house slaves and then
Calm down,
being
man.
sexually
Calm
assaulted.
down. I want to say
No,
good
no
morning.
more.
Good morning to our viewers. Good morning, Lady Georgia. Good
We're
morning.
not against, we're not against people of color, right? Are we saying people of color? There are people who have color. We are not against that. We are against hypocrisy. We're against wicked treatment. And we're against people who disrespect each other, right? So anybody who does it, we are against you, right? So it's not about the color of your skin. It's about people who do these things.
It's about
And
people who do these things.
yeah. It's not about color. If you're wicked, you're wicked. Whether black, white, pink, blue, yellow, Chinese, Indian, chief, whatever you are, you must be treated with the respect you must get. Somebody, I watch a man run down the next man with a machete and just give him one slap with it.
You just turn up and watch and you did not intervene. You didn't try to
I
stop.
could not intervene because the man who was running was fast like 10. Yeah, right?
It's
That's like if you want to calculate how fast one
alright.
is. You have to calculate one. If you calculate how fast one is, then you have to calculate what one is, right? So if you calculate what one is, then you will know what 10 of them look like. How fast one can run at 10 of them speed. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about.
Thank you, Mikey G. You're always so colorful in your description.
I try to, it's
I know
radio.
you
It's
try.
radio.
You
It's
know,
radio. I mean, for description on it, people are watching the radio as a television set. They're listening to it and they're expecting a descriptive view of what's taking place. So you have to be, the words have to be matching what you're saying. So they are, right now, I know that everybody who sees the television set don't have the radio is not lost its flavor yet.
well, you know what? It's time for a community notice board. I don't know if you want to share what's happening, if you know of anything new happening, and
Well, what's new? What is new happening? I guess it's no. I guess I've shared it this morning, and when we're finished, I'm gonna be doing that again. I think
yeah.
that's I'm going to put that.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The Gospel Tabernacle Church of Jesus Christ Apostolic, located at 58 Mary Street, Georgetown, invites you to our anniversary and pastor appreciation service happening November 21st to 24th. Join us nightly at 7:30 p.m. on the church grounds for a powerful time of worship and transformation. This year's theme is Turning Point, inspired by First Kings chapter 18, verses 1 to 46, with a focus on verse 41. Come and hear our dynamic speaker deliver the Word of God, sharing life changing messages that will inspire and uplift your soul. And don't miss a very special event on Saturday, November 23rd. We are hosting an appreciation dinner for Pastor Carter at the Emsley Memorial Church Hall, located at 108 Seafarers Way from 6 to 9 p.m. Dress your best. This is a formal affair. Tickets are just $50 per person. To reserve your ticket, call 345-924-5752. Make that call today. Your presence and support mean everything to us. Let's come together to celebrate God's goodness and honor Pastor Carter's incredible service. We'll see you there. Don't miss your turning point.
Get ready for a musical journey unlike any other. On Saturday, November 30, 2024, Savannah Seventh day Adventist Church proudly presents a day of worship, inspiration, and music that will lift your soul to new heights. This year, we're embracing the theme Sermon through Music, a divine symphony of creation, grace, love, redemption, and the soon coming of Jesus. From the opening note of divine worship at 10:30 a.m. to the final chords of our thrilling service at 4 p.m., you'll journey through the story of God's love expressed through music. Each phase of the divine plan will be beautifully narrated in song. This is the day for everyone. Whether you love the majestic harmonies of timeless hymns, the lively rhythms of contemporary worship, or the classical beauty of the old favorites, we've got something special just for you. Picture this: a full day of corporate worship, singing along with your church family to songs that have touched hearts across generations. Lift your voice as we unite in harmony, celebrating the wonder of creation, the miracle of grace, the power of love, and the promise of redemption. With guest artists, choirs, and special presentations, each moment is crafted to draw you closer to God's presence. It's a day of joy, reflection, and hope, all centered on the soon return of Jesus. Bring your
Yes.
families, bring your friends, and most importantly, bring your hearts ready to worship. So, save the date, November 30, 2024, Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church, divine worship at 10:30 a.m., evening service at 4 p.m. Come, be part of the Divine Symphony, a worship experience you won't want to miss. Let the music of heaven fill your soul and reignite your faith.
The Maranatha SDA Church invites you to their Music Day 2024 under the theme The King is Coming, November 23rd, 2024, starting at 9:30 a.m. Come out and be blessed at the Cayman Academy School Hall. A blessing awaits each and every one of you. See you there.
The King is coming. Of course, we are celebrating this morning all of our brand new day to say thank you, God, for giving us a chance to do this all over again. Of course, Maranatha SDA Church is celebrating with them. The King is coming. They dubbed the team King is Coming on the 23rd of November 2024. Yes, right in the Grand Cayman Islands at the Cayman Academy. Yeah. For those who don't know where that is, it's on Walker's Road, off Walker's Road, and it's right where the Seventh-day Adventist Conference is. Now, if you don't know where the Seventh-day Adventist Conference is, then I don't know, man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
There's Google Maps, Mikey G,
Oh,
thankfully.
there is Google Maps. Praise the Lord. For some
Yes.
people, will never be able to find it.
If you want to find Flashpoint, just look in Google Maps for Flashpoint, and Google Maps will take you right to us.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right.
Right to us.
What
Wonderful
is happening?
person. I have to say a happy birthday to my nephew, Ethan. He's celebrating his birthday today, Mikey G.
Whose birthday?
My nephew, Ethan.
Ethan, happy birthday to you, sir. And I trust and hope God will give you many more happy returns on the birthday this morning. Birthday celebration for quite a few persons. Of course, we want to remind those who are celebrating birthdays and special anniversaries or special days or occasions to send it in early, of course, to flashpointmedia.ky. Yes, go to our webpage. Of course, look up and see where our email is. Sign up for that one. Send it in through that. Subscribe and send that information to us. Our community notice board will be appraised with your events and, of course, special days that you're having. Of course, we want to say, of course, add my quote of happy birthday to Ethan this morning. I want to say happy birthday to you. And, of course, may you live to see many, many, many more.
Many,
How old
many.
is Ethan today, by the way? Is it okay to call it the age? Is it 10? Is it 10? Is it 1? Let's go. Let's start. Is it 1? And you said no.
I think he's
Is it
17,
2?
you know.
Is how many?
I think. A code. You remember when you used to count? 1.
Yes, 1. Yes, you have to do like that, right?
2, 3, 4.
How much is
Don't
it?
count to Mikey.
I couldn't count much, so what I did was I had my slate with the beads on it.
What?
Slate with the beads. You know the slate with the beads on it?
Slate.
Yes, slate with the beads. Come on, nobody know what a slate is with the beads?
No,
The
we're
little
young
guys are
people.
looking at the stage now. I'm like, oh, what's that? What's a slate? Yeah, but I went to school when there were slates. And then you had a paper slate, and then you had a real slate that if you drop it, it just broke up into pieces. So you know how that would be if you're playing, and your children are playing all the time, and this is a child who is very studious, so their mother equipped them with a slate, and then you are the next child who is not so studious. You get a paper slate, you can throw it as a boomerang anywhere you want to throw it, and still pick it up when it works.
I can
Right?
see that you had a very exciting and interesting childhood. But that's fine. That's fine.
We run around aimlessly sometimes as youngsters, and then you run into a youngster who is studious, but those one that with the thick lens, glasses,
No,
and
that is just a perception. It's just like how you think that those persons they are nerds or they're extra smart. You have them dress
so
weird. They have thick glasses.
uh, so you
No,
have to understand that my wearing the glasses now would be to just mask myself as being smart, you know. That's my excuse, right? So
you know what?
yeah.
It better you do that to yourself than I do that to you because that wouldn't be cool, right?
What?
But not
Say that I wear my glasses to seem smart. That's all
But
right.
Mikey
So,
G, I just, we were supposed to share the Movember information that the Lions Center the Lions Club is having this evening at 7 p.m., right? It's Movember Information Night. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman and the Cayman Islands Cancer Society present Movember Information Night. Of course, you know why it's called Movember. Of course, we are paying special attention to men's health. And so they will be having international speakers from Baptist Health, Miami Cancer Institute, and of course from Doctors Hospital Cayman Islands and from Health Services Authority and from the Dana Farber Cancer Institute. That's this evening, 7 p.m. at the Lions Center. That's happening Movember Information Night. And I understand that they'll be doing free PSA testing. For those who are not sure what the PSA is, it's an antigen that is checked. It's a blood test that is done to assess prostate health. And of course, that is something we have to pay attention to. As you know, prostate cancer is one of those cancers that, if it's caught early, the prognosis is good. So, men, don't be scared of having your health checked. If you're here in the Grand Cayman, please go out this evening, 7 p.m. at the Lion Center for the Movember Information Center. And of course, Mikey G, of course, it would be, what's the word? It would be remiss of me not to mention, of course, ASI weekend that comes up this weekend. Did you know that? Did you know? Did you know?
of course, we'll be talking about the ASI weekend that is coming up for quite a few days now. Of course, from last week, I believe that we have been running that one. Of course, we
Yes.
started talking a little bit about the defibrillator that will be
The training, yes.
defibrillator training that will be occurring at the Georgetown SDA Church on the afternoon of the 23rd, which is this weekend actually.
Yes.
And we are inviting all the churches, right, no matter which denomination you are. You don't have to be of the same faith, but we are inviting all churches, all leaders or persons who would be um, responsible for the health care or the care of the church that you attend, to attend these meetings that would help you to then train those who would be in your circles to operate a defibrillator that would be allowing our heart conditions, if occurred in our churches, to be addressed immediately. So I would say everybody's invited to come to that meeting. ASI is hosting a very important meeting, and I believe that we should make a special effort to be there.
Yes, so it's an entire weekend of events, of course. We start out tomorrow evening, and let me just go ahead and share that advert with you so that you can be abreast of what's happening.
Join us for ASI Weekend, November 22 to 24, under the theme Reset, Revive, Renew. ASI, a community of Seventh-day Adventist laymen and professionals, is committed to sharing Christ in the marketplace. On Friday, connect on Zoom with Pastor Baptiste. Sabbath morning, explore marketplace ministry, then celebrate the divine service with Pastor Baptiste and witness the installation of our new ASI board members, followed by Sabbath lunch. In the afternoon, don't miss the major project launch and heart resuscitation training. On Sunday, rise early for the SDA 10K run walk at 6 a.m. Wrap up the weekend at 6 p.m. with a grand gospel concert, closing with an inspiring charge by Philip Baptiste. Come, reset, revive, and renew with us.
Reset, revive, and renew, of course, yeah. For those who are going to be joining us on that run walk as well, Fresh Point will be taking some pictures. I think
You'll be running or walking or swimming?
running for running. What I've started doing is I've started taking some serious exercise program in place, put myself through some rigorous exercise program because I realized that as you get older, you must be mindful that you are not moving as fast as you used to. Like I was telling you a while ago, Lady Elise, that I would have been running aimlessly as a little boy, and I would hit that little child's slate out of their hands, and then it just drop on the ground and break. We'd be sorry about it, but that little boy be crying like crazy. I remember these days, and so as we get older, we are not little boys who chase around and aimlessly run around anymore and have that agility. And so we have to make a natural effort to be and stay healthy or stay agile, right? So we are encouraging persons to come out to the run walk, to exercise, and of course to get some fresh air while they're at it, and some vitamin D. I understand that even in the Cayman Islands, we are reporting a high percentage of vitamin D deficiency within the Cayman Islands. It's impossible for a country that has total sunshine every day, most of the days of the year, is now saying that the vitamin D deficiency is a part of it, which means that that is the general population. So what we want to do is to do a statistical report on what group of persons would be deficient. Is it the ones who work in the hard sun every day with the helmets on, or the ones who are in the air-conditioned offices all day, relaxing and enjoying pizzas? But so we have to see this as real, right? So you place yourself in environments that are actually killing you, and you watch the guys outside working and say, man, they're doing million job. But then guess what? They have somewhat outlived most persons and healthier and better lifestyle than most persons who are sitting in offices, having a pizza all day and relaxing in the cool, nice, lovely, relaxing chairs that eventually give you arthritis, diabetes, and all of the itis that you can't figure out. It says, here's the deal for you. You get up in the morning from a bed, lying down. You go into a car, sitting down. Go to work to sit down again. Then get up and go and sit all day. Then get back into your car, sit down to get to home. And then when you get home, sit down and relax, a nice, comfortable movie. And then you go back and sleep in your lovely bed. After doing all of that, you're setting up yourself for a cardiac arrest.
So I guess when you say it like that, though, Mikey, when you put it like that, it is true.
I guess when you do the defibrillation, when you do the defibrillator training, you're doing the defibrillator training and the benefits of saying, guys, when you do all these activities in that way, you're going to need more defibrillators than just one, because you're going to have more people in the churches. Because you come to church and you sit down, not even praise God, you can't get up to praise God. You're so used to sitting down. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. We learned that it takes a certain amount of time for habits to be formed.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that when we are younger, we take less care and less caution in terms of taking care of our health. And the habit of being active, Mikey G, is an important
factor
to have. So if you take away anything, we have had so many important we don't just get up and talk one bunch of things here on breakfast hour. Of course, you have to learn and gain something positive from your interaction. Yesterday we had a wealth of information from Dr. K. She spoke about diabetes, which is something that's so common, and we learn about staying active. And certainly today we are reiterating, we are reminding our listeners and viewers. Get up and get moving. Get moving. It helps. And so register. If you haven't registered, please go ahead and register for the SDA 10K walk happening this Sunday.
The cost of registration, as I heard, the cost of registration are $15 for the youngsters,
$15 for
and
registration.
for our adults it is $25.
Maybe.
I'm thinking. All right. So go ahead and register, guys. Of course, there's a number to call. Did I see the number to call? May have to pull that number up now. I don't have it on my at my disposal at this time. So I will say, reach out to the ASI chapter of the Grand Cayman Islands. Of course, find out more. Go to the website. You can just type in ASI, Google it. You'll find them. And of course, you can call a number or send an email to find out how you can be a part of the run walk. And of course, this weekend's experience, a whole lot of stuff going on. And of course, I'd say, guys, get up, get out, and get going.
Get up, get out, and get going.
It has been a wonderful morning this morning. I don't know.
It is.
We have heard some things going on. I wanted to touch a little bit on the Cayman Islands government that is actually in the UK doing some financial stuff going on, financial excursion. That's what it is.
I wouldn't call it an excursion. It's business. Business.
It could be. It could be an excursion, of course. You could enjoy the trip to England. It's like one whole day of flying.
One whole day of flying.
Yes, 8 hours. I think it's 8 hours of flying. It's an excursion, man. You go and do that, and you just take it as an excursion. You come back, of course, with a lot of money for the island, and of course, take care of the business of the country. That's it. I hope that we benefit from the trip, and of course, the people who are in need of help or this financial assistance will be aided. Yeah, not the ones who don't want to work. Not you guys.
No. Well, you know what? It's time for us to get out of here. I want to thank those who have joined us via all of our social media pages. We are live on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And if you're listening to us on www.flashpointmedia.ky, thanks for having joined us this morning. Just a reminder of our optimist creed before we get out of studio this morning. Promise yourself to be strong, that no one can disturb your peace of mind. That's promise yourself to be so strong that no one, nothing at all, no one can disturb your peace of mind. Have yourself a beautiful day, and may the Lord bless you abundantly, more than you can ever ask, think, or imagine.
Of course, to remind most of our listeners, this of course comes up tomorrow is the open portal at Friday evening. So guys, join us for the open portal tomorrow evening at 6:30 in the PM. It's going to be another exciting evening. Last week we had so many things. We had testimonies, and of course some conversations around health. And of course you can come on, and of course the programs are so rich that you will benefit from it. Of course, if you have an idea, if you have something that you want to share with us, we have a WhatsApp number 1345-321-6969. Let's send a WhatsApp message to Flashpoint, and of course say, hey Mikey G, hey Lady Elise, this is how we want this program to be. I'd like to hear this being shared on your program. Of course, if you want to get us at our community notice board, info@flashpointmedia.ky. Of course, knock us up, guys. Of course, go to our webpage at flashpointmedia.ky and sign up for our subscription, of course, to be a part of our VIP membership. Of course, I want to say a pleasant good morning to those who have just joined us, and of course, thank you for listening. Thank you for staying with us all this time, and of course, catch us tomorrow morning, same time. We'll be all Gospel Friday, and of course, we'll do it all over again for you. Have yourself a God blessed day. Of course, continue to listen to Flashpoint. 24 hours of the day. We go all day. Of course, different type of things, man. Sure. Enjoy some joy. Of course, catch us later on in the afternoon. We drop a few tracks for you. Of course, get this right. FlashpointMedia.ky, right here in the Grand Cayman Islands.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together. Will I see?
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit a Psy Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located